Yeah, hi everybody, this is Tony. Welcome to another episode of Crime Pays But Botany Doesn't. Now today, I was coming to you from the Silver Peak Range, about 20 miles from the California border in west central Nevada. And I'm here because there's an extremely rare plant that grows here that's threatened with extinction due to a proposed lithium boron mine. Okay, they want to build an open pit mine. Actually, they want to build it over there, but they're going to be mining this stuff too. Now, what you're looking at right here was the initial population that was discovered of this rare plant. It was the first population that was discovered of this rare plant in 1985 by Arnold Jerry Team, the notorious cage fighter and a winner of the 1992 MMA championship. He was later ejected from the mixed martial arts due to the fact that he ripped someone's ear off while engaged in a grappling match. He just straight up, you not on it. But great guy nonetheless, very handsome, and he helped discover this buckwheat. He's also, collected, I think, upwards of like 20 to 40,000, probably more than that, voucher specimens of plants. So he's done a lot of plant exploration in Nevada, and he was out here in the 80s, apparently, in between, different bouts of his MMA career, and he was looking... just doing what I do, just taking a waltz and looking at plants and collecting stuff, taking pictures, and he found this buckwheat. And it turns out it ended up being a new species that had not yet been described. And here it is, Eriogonum Pemia. Okay, you could see it right there. Okay, perennial buckwheat with the thick woody root, thick woody caudex. Okay, well, not a caudex maybe, but it's it's a nice little mat. A woody mat, and it grows solely on these chalky white lithium and boron rich sedimentary deposits. Now this deposit right here is unlike many deposits of lithium. Normally you get lithium with pegmatite. The pegmatite co-occurs with granite. You'll get down in Chile, where they produce upwards of 70% of the world's lithium. Chile and Australia produce most of the world's lithium. But down there, they're using brines, okay? The lithium comes in a brine form, and they got to put it into these little pools and let the water evaporate, and then they collect the powder, okay? This lithium is thought to have been deposited in a lake environment, lacustrine environment, which makes it pretty odd. And the fact that it co-occurs with boron is what makes it such a rich deposit, because in mining for the lithium, you can also get the boron, so you're killing two birds with one stone. You're getting two minerals for the price of one. And that's why this company wants it so bad, is because it's cost effective. And if it causes this rare plant to go extinct, to hell with it, There's just the cost of doing business. And again, it's just a species of bipedalate that doesn't value anything, that doesn't directly benefit it. Look, there's one of them flowering right there. See that? That little globose inflorescence right there? See a bunch of tiny little flowers grouped together. Dozens of flowers grouped together with those stamens so prominently exserted. Okay? But not a lot of flowering this year because it's been a dry year. Okay? It was a dry summer and a dry winter in the southwest of North America this year. So, but anyway, this type of deposit right here, it's got the mineral surlicite, okay? A lot of borosilicates, as you say. A lot of silica, a lot of boron, and of course you got the lithium too, all right? And the lithium, of course, would be going into making batteries, for which our tech-obsessed and tech-driven society desperately needs more batteries. And I'm all for that. I understand you got to grow the tumor. I understand you got to charge ahead in our race towards nowhere, okay? We can't even really take care of ourselves, but we're already trying to go to Mars and do God knows what the shit over there. I'm all for exploration, but I'm also for solving problems at home. Anyway, the lithium's going to be extracted no matter what. The question is it going to be extracted here, where it's more cost effective, and it's going to also cause this plant to go extinct? That's a pretty high cost if you ask me. Or is it going to be extracted in any of the other numerous lithium deposits within the state of Nevada? I guess we'll find out. You see how barren this is? And it's because the boron especially provides a chemical obstacle for plant growth, okay? All plants need lithium and boron in small amounts, but in excess amounts like you get here, it ends up being a problem. So this Eriogonum is what you would call an edaphic specialist. And if you know anything about this channel, you've been watching it for a while, you know I really got a thing for edaphic specialists. I got a thing for plants that have evolved to grow in really harsh substrates, because that's where you see the wonders of evolution at work. You see the wonders of random mutation, genetic recombination, and an allele or series of alleles that ends up evolving, being produced through mutation, that ends up providing that adaptive benefit to the plants that grow in said habitat. Look at this. I like these signs too. You could take them for your wall. Apparently this mine collapsed already. So, you know, I guess it was unsafe. And hey, what's that? Is that a fossil? Might be. Supposedly there's some arthropod fossils from when this was a lake. You know, however many millions of years ago. So anyway, this plant, this species occurs in 6 populations. We're at the hollow type location. The location where it was first discovered. And where specimens were collected that were later described by James Reveal, the notorious buckwheat specialist, R.I.P. But there's, you know, 5 other populations totaling less than 20,000 individuals. So anyway, this is population 1. Let's go check out some of the other ones they got down there. Oh, look, it's an old tuna can. Look at it. See, from horny miners of yore. Was that tuna or sardines? I don't know. You got a date on there? No, it's too corroded. Look at this little bastard. Look at this. Look at this penstemon. Penstemon barnabii. Look, he's got an orange beard tongue. Remember, they call these guys beard tongues because they got staminodes. They got that sterile stamen, that sterile male sexy part. Huh? Let's get up closer, check him out. See that guy? Just see him? See, with the orange staminode? But he's so tiny. Just coming up here on these alluvial deposits. Okay, we're starting to get onto that those white soils, those white shale soils rich in the borons and the salts, where the buckwheat grows. Okay. Quite high up too. Again, 6,000 feet. You can see we got the Pinus monophylla, we got the junipers, we got a Stanlea over there, nice desert brassica. Over there, you could see the original population of Eriogonum tiehmii. It was first discovered by Arnold Jerry Team, the notorious cage fighter. See that? And then these populations occurring on these white soils were found later. And that's one of the ways they found it, was, you know, taking a plane and doing aerial surveys and looking for the right soil type. Okay, so brief floristic inventory. We got Stanlea, okay? Yeah, a shadow of what it could be, all right? Because, again, it's very dry. These are perennials, Brassicaceae mustard family. There's the flowers just starting to emerge. You see that? Those sepals are just coming undone, and you got the petals in there, and you got the nice anther money shots looking all excerpted out of the corolla right there. Right here we got Enceliopsis nudicalis. Pretty cool member of the Asteraceae, the sunflower family. Okay, a desert dweller. See, but it's not gonna flower. You know why? Because it's so goddamn dry right now. Okay, but still, you could see those leaves. I love this plant when they do. Big yellow, like little yellow daisies in the desert. Now look at the soil. I want you to pay attention to that. See? This is the type of soil, those white deposits you can see from the sky, that this Eriogonum is endemic to. Only grows on these white soils, okay? These kind of alluvial deposits, alkali deposits with the lithium and the boron. Down here, we got our favorite parasite, Castella Cremosa. To be fair, only a partial parasite, okay? Beautiful bright red bracts. Those aren't the flowers, those are the bracts. The flowers are a little bit more inconspicuous, and they're covered in the glands. See all the glands? The trichomes in the glands? That other Eriogonum? See how it is more coalescent? It's got more of a stem. The one we're looking for, oh, what's that? The one we're looking for is more sespetos, more prostrate, okay? More in coeliopsis. God, it's a sorry year for these guys. You know, sometimes they'll form their own little mats. But again, this chalky stuff, these chalky deposits with the boron, okay? Boron and lithium. They present numerous obstacles chemically for plants to grow on. And you could see over there where there is, you know, it's a different soil type. It's not this chalky white stuff. You got more shrubbery. Over here, it's much more barren. And so this gives, the fact that Eriogonum can tolerate this is what gives it that competitive advantage. And we're about to be coming up on our first flowering individuals of this buckwheat. See, they got the transects and whatnot. Now, where they want to build the main pit, because it is going to have to be a pit. They're going to have to go down deep. Look at it. Nice Stanleya. Look at those goddamn stamens. Stanleya pinnata. You know, this is one of those plants that'll really give you respect for the native mustards. The native members of the mustard family that can tolerate these, you know, really brutal conditions. But again, not getting that big. He's got a woody, you know, a woody little stem down there, but he's not that big. Doesn't get that big. Because again, those chemical obstacles that the lithium and especially the boron present to plants. So anyway, as I was saying, where they want to build the main pit is right here. So, you know, they got to remove 70 feet of overburden. They got to remove all this stuff to get at the more rich, lithium-rich soils down below. So where we're standing would be, you know, in midair, eventually if this mine goes through. Okay, I see the first buckwheats. Let's go check them out. There we go. Oh, yeah. There you go. Eriogonum Pemia. Oh, look, he's got a fly on him. So this is the plant that would be, you know, have 60% of its population wiped off the map, extirpated, okay, made locally extinct if this mine goes through. And again, there's other places for them to mine this lithium, okay, you know, so we can keep the tumor growing, you know, for all our batteries and smartphones, the thing I'm recording on right now, your electric cars, electric vibrators, shaving tools, you know, everything that uses lithium-ion batteries, okay? But, you know, there's other places I could do it, but again, I want to do it here because this has boron in it too, which is going to make it more profitable. You know, they could double dip, you know, kill two birds with one stone. Reap the benefits of mining two products instead of just one. Let's take a look at that flower. Kind of like almost a capitulate flower. Like a little capitulum, all right? So it's a bunch of tiny flowers aggregated into one little globose mass. You could see more clearly right there. You see that? Those little tiny flowers. Let's get up closer. Okay, so what I was going to do now, I was going to peel these guys back so I could show you. We'll get into some buckwheat morphology right there. See that? So it's a bunch of tiny flowers held together at the base by what's called an involucre. Okay, you get the same thing on oak flowers. You get the same thing on members of the sunflower family. Basically just acting like a little cup that holds all the flowers together like a vase. See that? Look at how woolly it is, too. Look at the cobwebby stem. You see that? Oh, forgive me, I forgot to go in for a manicure today, so you got to see my big dago thumb right there. See, you can see a bunch of little involucres, each with a few flowers just hanging out of them. And look at the leaves. Look, this thing is just built for the brutality of this environment. And apparently, at some point in its evolution, it evolved the ability to tolerate this chemically harsh substrate. And if you've been watching this channel for a long time, you know I really got a thing. I got a fetish for the plants that are what you call edaphic specialists. They can tolerate the rough soils, whether it's gypsum or laterites, the iron-rich soils, or the serpentines or whatever. You know, I really got a thing for those because that's where evolution comes in. You know, at some point, the species, you know, accumulated an allele or a series of alleles that alleles are just variations on a gene that enabled it to tolerate the chemistry of the soil. And we don't even know why. So this thing's already running the risk of being wiped out of existence, and we don't even know how or why it evolved the capacity to tolerate the chemistry, these chalky lithium and boron-rich soils where it grows. You can see some aren't flowering. Really easy to miss. See how they blend in? You see how they blend in? It's because they're just covered in those hairs. They got that ability to mitigate that harsh UV exposure. We're also at 6,000 feet here, remember. So we're at a higher elevation, thinner atmosphere. And who's in there? Who's that guy doing? What's he doing over there? Oh, is he pollinating? He's probably pollinating. So there's less atmosphere to break up that incoming UV light, and it's a barren environment because the soil's so fucked up, nothing else can grow here to shade these things out. Certainly, none of the junipers you're seeing up there on the more volcanic rocks, the actually it's mostly pinyon pines. Got a couple junipers too, probably Juniperus osteosperma, maybe Juniperus californica, but it's mostly Pinus monophylla, the pinyon pine. So you could see the stark difference. Once you get up, it turns into more of those pink volcanics. But here, we're on the chalky shit. You like the chalky shit, huh, you prick? Okay, there you go. Nice up close money shot of that flower right there. You can really see the involucres, okay? All cobwebby, looking like little cobwebby flower vases, each holding, looks like 5 or 6 tiny flowers inside. Okay, and then the flowers just kind of spill out. And each flower has a pedicel. Each flower's got a little stalk that holds it that looks about 2 millimeters, maybe 1 or 2 millimeters long, maybe 2 or 3, I don't know. Each one of those flowers has 9 stamens, okay, topped by those little yellow anthers. The stamens are excerpted out of that corolla. Okay, actually, I guess we'll just call it a perianth because we don't know if they're petals or sepals. We just, they're tepals, okay? And there was actually a study done where they looked to see if it was, because there's only one series of those floral appendages there. And when, so normally it goes to sepals, because you get the sepals below the petals. But when they looked at the vasculature, they couldn't figure it out. All the vascular bundles were going every which way. Tree weren't going anywhere. There were like 9 vascular bundles total, so they just said, fuck it, we'll just call them tepals, because we can't differentiate whether they are petals or sepals. And that's the case with most buckwheats. Okay, so we call them tepals. They got the tepals, they got the 9 stamens, they got the flowers, the tiny little flowers all spilling out the involucre. You can see the ones on the bottom of that involucre on the left are not mature yet. I actually got a folder on my Google Drive entitled Eriogonum Hell, because I love this genus. They're so ecologically successful throughout the Western North America. They're so adapted to the hot and dry, to the arid conditions, but they can be really hard to key out. And there's a lot of species. I mean, because they've been so ecologically successful, there's so many different species of them. This one, of course, just discovered in 1985. Look into my Eriogonum tiehmii. Are you getting tired of these money shots? I hope not. Look at the one in the center. Look, those stamens are they done or are they curling in? You see that one? See the anthers at the base? The stamens aren't excerpted. That's another interesting thing about a lot of Eriogonums. So the stamens tend to mature in sets of 3. You got 9 stamens total. They tend to mature in sets of 3. In the last tree, if the former 2 sets of 3, if the flower hasn't been pollinated yet, then the last set of 3 curl inward to self-pollinate, because they're self-fertile too. I mean, every plant tends to prefer outcrossing, but the last set of 3 stamens curl inward to self-pollinate, which is a pretty goddamn remarkable, adaptation. So you're always ensuring, no matter what, you're producing seed. Look, see, there's another one. Huh? Cutty little bastards, aren't they? There's more. So, I mean, do we really want to wipe something off the map that's obviously so good, it's surviving in harsh conditions? I mean, just viewing it from a purely... Look, here's one that got dug up, okay? Was it rodents or human vandalism? A lot of people think rodents. See, there's the woody stem down there, but it's resprouting. A lot of people think rodents. Some people think vandalism, because it's just too coincidental that this plant would suffer such a major impact to a large part of its population, right when, you know, it's at the center of a debate about a new mine. But again, it has been a dry year, and some of those ground squirrels probably got to be pretty hungry, but I just don't see them going for anything else. So do we really want to wipe something off the map? You know, one of evolution's wonders, just, you know, when we could mine this stuff somewhere else, you know, I don't get it. You know, but again, that's what you do when you're a species that has no regard for anything that doesn't directly benefit it. You know, a species of bipedal ape. I really like reinforcing that. Brings humans back down, because I think we give ourselves too much credit. You know, because of the wits of a select few of us, we got all these technological advancements. But as a culture, as a civilization, we don't seem to be advancing at all. I mean, slightly, I'll give us some credit, you know. I read that Steven Pinker book too. I'll give us some credit. We're not clubbing each other in the streets anymore as much, but, you know, our whole value system just seems like it's a fucking mess. So, let's keep going. Oh, how cute. I just seen a little lizard hanging outside his den doing push-ups. But yeah, you can see. So now we're up here on a limestone, on this much more abrasive limestone, and there's none. They just taper off. So they're just right down there where the soil's right. You can see over there. That's the other population. That's the original population. And you got a couple more up this way where that soil creeps back up. All the chalky stuff with the lithium and the boron. See, you got more of the white soils there, over there, there. And of course right there, just where we were just now. And just imagine a nice big open pit mine right there. But you could see it's really just a mishmash, you know, it's just a general mishmash of all different kinds of geology. Look at that over there. There's been some uplift, some tilting. So much Pinus monophylla. So much pinion. Get your artemisia right there, your sagebrush. Oh, it smells so nice. It's such a nice smell. Oh, hi, Jake. Look, it's an astragalus. One of the loco weeds. Look at the damn little fuzzy bean. You got your pinnate foliage, again, all covered in a hairs and a trichomes. And then you got your little fruit right there. Wonder when this thing flowered. Little fuzzy bean fruit. One of the 4,000 species of astragalus. Oh, there's that penstemon too. That penstemon again. Look at that guy. With the orange beard tongue. The orange beard, the orange staminode. Look at the way those anthers dehisce. See those little kidney-shaped things in the back? Got those 4 stamens. You get the style in between. That little white bead in between those 2 kidney-shaped anthers in the back. How do the anthers dehisce in penstemon? That's what you got to know to figure out what the hell species you're looking at. You got that orange staminode, of course. The calyx down there in the center of the frame is all covered in the glands and what the shit. You got fuzz on the bottom of that labium, that corolla. 2 fused petals up top, 3 fused petals on the bottom. Zygomorphic corolla, bilaterally symmetrical corolla. It's a banger right there. Tiny little banger growing up here at 6,100 feet in a high, dry desert on a messed up soil with all the boron. Like saying that word, boron. Remember, they got 4 stamens in 2 pairs at unequal lengths, too. Like all the penstemons. There you go. There's the proper money shot. You could see the anthers. You could see the glands and the hairs and the trichomes. What a sight to behold. What a penstemon to behold. Those anthers are blowing my mind. The orange beard tongue's blowing my mind. You know, and like most penstemons, if you could see them, you'd see they got opposite leaves, but you can't because they're all sessile, all sunken down into the ground, like a little rosette. Again, it's an adaptation to growing in the high and dry. But who knows? Maybe if it was a better year for rain, this species would be a little bit more coalescent. Look at this guy right here. You can see a tiny little flower right there, but he's mostly done. Actually, is he mostly done, or he's still maturing? Either way, remember the olive family here? Okay? Oleaceae, Menodora spinescens. You can obviously see why it's called Menodora spinescens. Those lateral branches terminate into sharp spines, but that didn't stop, apparently didn't stop the deer, the whatever, the pronghorn, the bighorns, whatever the hell's around. I think it's a lot of bighorn sheep from gnawing on him. But he's got the photosynthetic stems, and but he could also have leaves when the circumstances are ripe for it. When there's been enough moisture for him to put them out. There's a nice one. Look at that. You know what makes me laugh is I think about the boardroom meetings at the company that wants to put the lithium on here, and I just think about them being all irate about the idea of a little plant thwarting their plans. You know. Oh God! It's just a goddamn little shrub. Why is this in the way? Why can't we just move them? Can't we just move them somewhere else? Huh? We could just dig them. I'll go out there and dig it up and plant it somewhere else myself. You shit for brains. You know, I just, I mean, I think it's funny. It's tragic and it's funny. But you know what they say about comedy and tragedy, right? Oh, look at those little flowers pouring out of those involucres. I mean, the thing is, you can't plant them somewhere else, too, because they're adapted to this. You know, I love the simplistic approach. You know, you just move it. Just, again, no respect. But that's okay, because I don't have much respect for many of the things they probably care about. This tiny little bastard. The little Nama. Huh? Boraginaceae. Look at it. Look how big he is. Surprised he's even coming up again. If it was a nice year for rain, you'd probably get more. But, you know, the seeds are here. They're laying in wait in his soil. They're just not germinating yet. I feel so nice being out here. Really quells the homicidal thoughts, you know. Makes me feel less like clubbing somebody, you know, bipedal simian bastard that I am. It's in our DNA. We're just a psychotic species. Better just accept it. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you can move on and maybe try to address it within yourself. You know, better yourself. You know, I like that. Again, I like that humility for the human species. I don't hold us in high regard. We're just another species of monkey. We're fucking nuts. What do you think they have at what do the deli trays look like at those board meetings, huh? They got for the company proposing this mine. Think they're nice? What do they order? Who caters to them? They really want this to go true. And the BLM really wants it to go true, apparently, too. But needless to say, I hope it's thwarted. You know, they're gonna. I read on the company website they're gonna have automated trucks too, so that kind of shits on the whole we're providing jobs thing. They always say they're providing jobs, like that's what they're really concerned about. They're really concerned about providing jobs. They're you know, they're a charitable organization just out here to provide jobs to people. This guy's not even going off yet. Look at these little tiny bastards. See that woody stem down there? We're out there to provide jobs. You know, you ought to do, if you're so concerned about making it cost effective by putting the boron in there too, be like every other corporation that does business in America. Ask for welfare for the government, okay? Ask for those subsidies. You know, the United States government sure won't give subsidies to its people. They don't care about that. They don't fuck the people. But if you're a corporation, you know, they'll give you all the bennies you want. You know, you want $1 billion, you want $2 billion, they'll throw it at you. Tell them you're providing jobs. Again, those red pigments, that's just on a brax. Those are not the actual flowers. The actual flower, here, we'll peel this down. There you go. See that? See that? That's the actual flower down there. See that? Where the yellow is? The bracts are just subtending it. at Castella. Okay, producing doing photosynthesis on its own, producing it's got the photosynthetic pigments. It's producing its own carbs, but it's also stealing a little bit from its neighbor. In this case, probably that grass right there. It's beautiful right there. Look at these. Look at these bedded cherts, huh? The layers of cherts. Looks like a little bit dirty chert though, because it's not that smooth. It's got the conchoidal fracture, but it's not as smooth as it could be. Like some of that West Texas chert. That's the good stuff over there. I'm still gonna take one though, because I hoard rocks, huh? Brick. Yeah, see, there you go. There's one. See, there's one that looks like the rats got it, okay? Or there was some guy out here with a shovel hacking at him, but I mean, who knows? Who knows what happened? They got the game cameras out here now. Probably got some pictures of my ass. Maybe even a full frontal for me. I don't know. But you could see they're all gnawed on him with the shit. But then there's some coming up right there. See those? Some coming up right there. Then you got this guy too. You're doing all right. You're doing all right, guy. You know? Fuzzy leaves. Little sespetos. Little mat. But these mats, in a good year can be pretty wide. Upwards of 10, 15 inches across. But you could see there was digging. There was excavation. Could it be the rats? Was it the rats? See, yeah, due to the lousy rain they got, they're mostly flowering down at the base, where they got more moisture. Okay, because it did rain, but it didn't rain as much as it normally does. But again, for a place that only gets 5 inches of annual rainfall a year, I mean, we're not talking a lot, We're not talking an epic downpour. How you doing, Jake? You feel better after you talked to the shrink? He was just on a Zoom call with his therapist. Hey, look, it's a Crescentinenicovia lanata from the Amarantaceae. Look how woolly it is. I believe this is a monotypic genus, too. There's you got those flowers in between those leaf bracts right there. But again, everything's just so covered in wool. Q-tips, little Q-tip leaves, all right? All over Nevada. Very successful in the high and dry, obviously. See, here's that other species of buckwheat, that other species of Eriogonum. Step outside your goddamn door. If you live in the American West, you probably got a species of Eriogonum within a mile or two of you. But you see, first off, it's a taller plant, but it's also got a much different structure to its inflorescence. It's got a branched inflorescence, and it's not flowering yet. And look at this species of polemone over here. Polemoniaceae, the Flax family. You got your 5-fused petals, salverform corolla. It's a stunner right there. Nice species of Flax. What you got going on in there? You got the stamens in there? See them? Just barely poking out. Barely poking out, but you could see all the pollen on those anthers. Beautiful flower, though. See, look at it in a calyx down there. Look at how fuzzy and glandular the calyx is, hey, you prick? And then, of course, down enclosed within that corolla is the style, the pistil. Stigma style over. Look at all the pollen coming off those things, off those anthers right there. Who doesn't love a desert flax? And here we go. Here's a species of Euphorbia fendleri. The little sandman euphorbs with those tiny ass flowers. Formerly in the genus Camiscites. Camiscici. If you're Italian, if you want to pronounce that C with a ch. But look at it. Just hanging out in the wash. Prostrate with the ground. With the blue leaves abundant in Nevada. There you go. There's another species of buckwheat, another Eriogonum. Okay, one of the more common ones than that Eriogonum Pemia. Look at those little flowers, huh? With the red stripes on them. Okay, but a similar type of inflorescence. A little sphere of involucres. See that? There's the leaves over there. There's the Menzilia, tiny little bastard going off. See that? Right there, Loasaceae, the blazing star family. And then there's that same species of buckwheat, but the flowers are not as red. They're not as pink. They got more of a yellow tinge to them, but they still got that striation. See that? Those red striations on them. And then down here on this seemingly barren hillside, you got quite a few different species, okay? Got a species of milkweed to start, just forming little colonies all over here. Look at those woolly ass leaves. Probably Asclepias erosa. Look at how woolly that is. Okay, just coming up all over the place right there. See, there's more, there's more, there's more. Not going to bloom for a while, if it does at all. Down here, you got a cryptantha. See the boraginaceae? See those stiff little hairs? See that? Also got and there you go. There's a species of Phacelia. Yellow bottom to that corolla. Then the 5 fused petals up top are all purple. Of course, it's just covered in the glands and the hairs. Look at that calyx. The calyx is distinct. 5 distinct sepals, but they're fused at the base. Quite a lot of stuff going on his hill right here. So there's those chalky deposits, those lithium-rich chalky deposits. Here's evidence of sedimentary bedding, okay? Deposition in a lacustrine environment, okay? A lake. Lacustrine just means lake. And apparently there's been some secondary alteration, twisting, contorting, pressure, tectonic forces, and uplift. So you got a mixture, kind of like a nice mixture, a nice concoction of those chalky deposits, those lake deposits, as well as limestones. Real nice rock formations though. Oh, look at that. Look at that deformation. So originally laid down horizontally and then subsequently twisted and contorted. Okay? Normally I would, if I saw stuff like that, I'd think it was some sort of tufaceous deposit. But from what we know about this exposure, is it was all basically deposited in a basin environment, like a lake. Look at that. Oh yeah. But anyway, this is another population of that rare buckwheat, that rare Eriogonum. And there it is right there. See? This one's actually flowering. A limestone. Kind of like an orangish limestone. Really got to watch where you step. Tons of charts and what the shit. So we're talking sedimentary rock here, not volcanics. Yeah, here's that buckwheat everywhere. There's that Eriogonum. See it? See, right on the edge of this though. It's not growing, as far as I can tell, directly on. Well, probably, that might just be because it's so eroding so easily. But, oh no, there you go. There's some of it. See? There's some Eriogonum tiehmii. Oh, look, evidence of a former mine. Oh, here we go. Here's a nice mat. Except this one's not flowering. A little too dry for it here. But you could see how big they can get. And there's what we're walking on right now. Look at it. There's an old boy. How old do you think this guy is? There's one right there too. You really got to watch where you step here. How does it do that? How does it grow in such a harsh environment? Nothing else is growing directly on this this lithium. These lithium chalks. It looks like somebody was digging. Somebody was prospecting. And you could see the layers. A lacustrine environment. Remember that word, lacustrine means lake. Look at it. So he's mostly dead, but you still got a couple leaves. Ah, he's trying to flower right there. Look at it. You know, that's impressive. What is this? What is this stuff? Gypsum or chert? No, it's not gypsum. It's not selenite. Only other thing growing right here is the shad scale. See that? Right there. One of like 6 or 7 plants that are somewhat closely related, that all look the same. And there's that bed of limestone. That bed of limestone. You know, and it's been twisted so much. It's been, I mean, obviously that limestone was laid down flat. Now it's been flipped up. So it's hard to tell what came first. I'm assuming this was deposited. I have no idea. It's really just a geologic mishmash. There's more of that Eriogonum. How do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? God, I love environments like this. I love habitats like this. Because you always see the wildest shit. You always see the coolest evolutionary adaptations. There's more. The only plant that can, seemingly the only plant that can tolerate this. Nice little piece of shirt there. Cause sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came. How do you do that? Look at that. They're all the same plant or what? Probably. You wanna go where people know. Cause people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows. Prick. Huh? Keep walking up this. It's so mushy. It's mushy soil. It's that mushy clay with the lithium in it. Huh? Why don't you do a line of it? It'll make you happy. You know, when I was 9, I had a babysitter who was on lithium. She told me all about it. She probably told me too much about her personal life. I think she was a cutter. She was suffering from depression. I don't know. You know? Society's so fucked up to women, you know, in terms of conditioning. Okay? But I'm not trying to be a male feminist there. That shit creeps me out, so I'm not going to say any more than that. But it is true. Look at that. That's got a nice background mixture with the limestone, too. See? Nice color palette right there. I really like it. And it's just, you know, little buckwheat leaves poking up every which way outside of the dam. Just barely poking up above the soil. Is this going to be the open pit mine too? So this is population. I think this is tree. We were over there before, way over there. Now we came down over here, back to the white soil, but only on a white soil, on a chalky white bullshit. Boron. What do you use the boron for? Borax. 20 mule team. Put it in a box and then put it in, you know, with one of the loads in a wash. You know? Put it with the shitty drawers. You know, this is, some of the stuff I say sometimes, you know, I see why I haven't been offered a nature spot, a nature documentary spot yet, you know? Not too wholesome. Okay, just kind of no filter. Look at those leaves, just sunk into the ground. Easy to miss, okay? And that's a benefit too, because if there's an herbivore walking around, they're not going to be nibbling. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this soil with the little bits of limestone in there. Metamorphosed limestone. How old is this colony right here? Wiped off the map for a lithium open pit mine. Wiped off the mat. It doesn't hurt as much as being wiped off the mat for a Walmart, I guess. Or, you know, luxury housing for knobs who bought the lie, you know, and are now teaching the lie to their children. It doesn't hurt as bad as that, but I'm not going to lie, it does hurt. Okay? Being made extinct, it does hurt. Look, they got a tag next to this. Tiny little bastard. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Get another one next to that. Uh-oh, we got a rock stacker. Normally I tend to knock those over, but that could be one of the people studying it, so I'll leave it for now. Look at that. There they are, right there, on a white soil. Not, well, maybe a little bit, but certainly not up there. But then you got this little white divot right here. I'm assuming it was, you know, put there by a miner, dug out by a miner, however many decades ago. But where is the white soil? Where it's the chalky, puffy popcorn soil with the lithium in it, all right, for your smartphones and your antidepressants, and a boron, you know, that's growing. There you go. There's some plants right there. You know, Nevada's got a song. They got like a state song. I wish I knew it. I'd sing it for you right now, just to be obnoxious. It's actually not a bad song. It's all about appreciating natural resources, you know? Kind of expresses a decent land ethic, you know, as far as I could tell. You know, I hope you don't go out. I hope you're still with us in its century. Okay, I won't be, thank God, but beautiful plant. Beautiful bastard. How do you say it? Beautiful bastard. Again, what do the deli trays at the company headquarters look like? I always picture these corporate sleaze bags with jowls. You know they got jowls. all right? And their shit smells like tacky cologne, probably. That's just me. I really go deep when I think hard about this stuff, you know? With their yachts. What did I... Maybe one of the, one of the higher-ups in the company has a thing for muscle cars or other stupid shit. You never know. Yeah, these pits, these little ditches were dug by miners however many decades ago. Probably going for boron originally, but you could see the mines. Seems like the mines were up there. There's an old claim. Anytime you see a little wooden stake in a desert, okay, normally it'll have a little can up top with all the claim info on there. But these, actually, that might be a transect. I don't know. I bet these plants have never had an 80s TV sitcom song sung to them. See, this looks like limestone, especially the way it weathers up there with the little dimpling, okay? But then down here, it's got a conchoidal fracture, so maybe there's some chert in there too. Maybe there's been some secondary alteration. It probably is very old. It's been uplifted. You could see that. See, there's the original bedding plane. I'm like a pig in shit. You get me around geology. You get me around any of this nice, naked, exposed desert geology. There you go. Population number 3, a team's buckwheat, okay? With a little hole in the middle dug by some horny miner perhaps a century ago, maybe less. Extends all the way up to the top of that hill and then down. Anywhere you see the white soil, with a smattering of a few occurring off of it. But again, it really seems to thrive on that chalky white soil. Because it's got that adaptation to tolerate that chemical harshness. Okay, you know, it's starting to get a little hot. Get a little late in the day. It was about 40 degrees. No, it was about 35 degrees last night. Now it feels like it's about 75. Remember, we got those wide temperature fluctuations due to the fact that we don't have any humidity in the air. Cold nights, hot days. So it goes in deserts. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully you got some out of it. Enjoy it while you can, because this whole spot may not be here anymore. Might be a giant open pit mine over there. So let's hope not, huh? Because that'll mean more than half of the population of this species isn't wiped off the map. That's all I got. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Why don't you have a good rest of the day. Go fuck yourself. Bye. Stipitate glands. I was about to say stipitate glands my ass. I don't see any stipitate glands, but with the hand lens, you could really see them. See, you get up in there. Okay, you see the stipitate glands on the tepals?
You know it's some kind of racket, Tone. They don't do anything. I seen them too out there, because I was going down to Naperville. I was picking up a power washer off of Offer Up, and they got it blocked off, and like you said, it's been that way for 9 frickin' months, and somebody's getting a kickback. There's some kind of ghost payroll situation, and not that there's anything wrong with that. I just want to know. Hey, Tone, in kind of a jam. I got like $800 tied up in a Dodge right now, and I told my sister I will cover my niece's dress for her first communion, and the thing's freaking $999 goddamn dollars. I thought it was going to be like $40. I got to get to like a thrift store or somewhere. I got to figure this out. Maybe go to a rummage sale. I need you to help me hit the flea markets. We got to go to Swaparama. We got to go out to Wolf's. We got to get out there, Tone. We got to find it. Do you got a little niece or cousin or something? Maybe, we could do like a retro thing, dig it out the closet, anything. Okay, or if you could lend me $999, that'd be great too. Okay, take care, bye.